KXLY4 News and the Extreme Team in partnership with Numerica Credit Union present
It's that time of year again, Christmas. And some say it's the most wonderful time of the year.
For many, the holidays are about so much more than just shopping and presents. There's almost a magical joy and wonder and a time to make cherished memories.
But for kids and families at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital, holiday traditions are often interrupted by the unthinkable. Instead of sitting by a hearth, these children spend so much of their time in their hospital beds, getting the treatments they so desperately need, but missing out on the holiday joy so many of us take for granted.
Luckily, Christmas is also the season of giving, and within the walls of Sacred Heart, there is no shortness on the giving spirit.
So, an idea was born. And with the help of the KXLY4 Extreme Team, that idea was transformed into a reality.
So join us for this journey. It begins here at Cowley Park, and with a little Christmas magic and a whole lot of help from a lot of community volunteers, we made some magic happen.
For most people, a hospital is the furthest thing from home, especially when it comes to the holidays. But the staff at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital goes above and beyond to change that.
It's like my second home.
And this year, things are going to be bigger and better than ever before. It all started the way most things like this do, with a simple thought.
We were sitting at the Children's Hospital looking out the window and realizing all the things that we used to do when we were kids.
Things most of us can relate to. Decorating the house, the smell of fresh-baked holiday cookies.
We realized that the kids don't have anything to look at when they look out towards the city except for the city lights.
That realization quickly turned into something more. An idea was born.
Kind of came to fruition that way where we said, let's make it happen, let's decorate the park.
But who could pull off a project so big?
The Extreme Team with Mark, who could pull it off in a short amount of time and get the necessary people and everything here together to start this off for the first year for a tradition for years to come. So I called Mark and said, I have this great idea, and he said, oh no.
But those who've worked with Mark Peterson before know that, oh no, means something else entirely.
We decided that we were gonna go for it. The hardest thing really was sourcing the lights. We didn't realize they order in the spring, not in the fall. And so we had a little bit of a difficult time initially getting that on, but CMN sponsors pulled through, Avista pulled through, and people were ready to go. The mayor, we called their office, anything we needed. Everyone was ready to make this happen for the kids.
The kids at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital are some of the bravest and brightest souls you'll ever meet, and they are the inspiration for this project. So what better way to illustrate that than by introducing you to a resilient little girl who calls the hospital her second home.
Her name is Maddie Grace, and as you'll see, not even all the lights in Cowley Park can outshine her.
This is Maddie.
I come here a lot.
Okay.
For surgeries and appointments.
And she means a lot. Maddie Clarkson, a celebrity here at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital.
I have a bunch of friends up here.
It's no wonder Maddie has a bunch of friends here. Her easy smile and her kind heart make sure of that.
Dad's gonna be so weird.
What makes Maddie even more special, that she's brave. Braver than you or I could ever dream to be.
She was born with some different anomalies which required her to have a tracheostomy. And that's a tube in the neck that required her to be hooked up to a ventilator to support her lungs.
Maddie has had over 20 procedures for these anomalies. The first 6 months of her life spent in a hospital. A tracheotomy to help her breathe, a G-tube to feed her, open heart surgery at 3 years old. Madeline Clarkson has been through more in 6 years of life than most people will see in a lifetime. And through all of that, this smile. Still lighting up her room. Through all of what Maddie has been through, she's still so very brave.
Do you get nervous when you come here, or do you?
No, only when it comes to surgeries.
Getting nervous is something that Maddie's parents, Chastity and Casey Clarkson, have grown accustomed to.
It's always uneasy. I mean, you're placing your child into a person's hands.
If we look at 20 some odd procedures and surgeries, major invasions, since she was born. It's always in the back of your mind that, you walk in, that something may go horribly wrong.
for another procedure. Her lungs have gained enough strength to remove the tracheotomy, and now Dr. Omar Hussein will close the hole, or stoma, the tracheotomy left in her neck.
But she still has a hole there. Air escapes through that hole. She gets saliva that comes out. And today we're going to be able to reconstruct the neck to close that space, reconstruct the windpipe. Really, she'll be essentially normal after today.
It doesn't smell like cotton candy.
It doesn't?
No.
Maddie's surgery was a success. The hole in her neck now closed. She's part of the Naked Neck Club.
Yay! Go swimming, she can splash in the water, she can run and play, and just knowing, you know, that she can just be a kid.
Maddie gets to go home. Of course, we wouldn't let Maddie go home empty-handed after all she's been through. So Sacred Heart Children's Hospital gave Maddie a gift to celebrate this new milestone in her very young life. That isn't the only gift from the Children's Hospital that the Clarkson family are leaving with today.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a family.
Part of what makes the hospital so great, this hospital, is that they do take an interest in her life. She's not just another number. She's not just another patient, but she's Maddie. I just love it. I love the people. I love everything about it. I love the environment.
A sense of family, friendship, and most importantly, a healthy daughter ready for the next step on this journey.
Even though we turn the page, this story doesn't end here.
So we have an idea, a motivation, and a plan for this special project.
Now, it is time to put that plan into action. The first hurdle, getting those Christmas lights to stretch all the way to the tops of Cowley Park's trees.
The trees are so large, ladders just won't do the job. So on day one, Mark and the Extreme team had to go bigger than ever before and hoist themselves hundreds of feet into the air in one nerve-wracking crane ride.
All right, here's the deal. One light for every miracle. That's the name of this project. We're at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. Now we've got Spokane Crane here, and Ozzy is patiently waiting. We're going to put up 2 strings at a time, looped together, and we're going to pull them up and then drape them into the tree so that they're down, and we sort of, it's just going to be easier. So one light for every miracle. Here's the deal. It'll be a miracle if I get this done today. All right, we got to go up. You ready? We're in the middle of a tree.
I gotta tell you, a guy like me doesn't scare very easily, but being up that high in that crane over that tree was one of the most unnerving things I have ever done. The end of day one was just the beginning of this project. Day two will bring even more work before we can flip the switch and get Cowley Park all lit up. You'll hardly believe who showed up to help. Oh, ho, ho, ho. And the kids, this is all for them. We're going to hear what the children at Sacred Heart think about the work that's being done right outside their windows. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the KXLY4 Extreme Team's Light for Every Miracle special. After a nerve-wracking first day spent hundreds of feet high in the air, Mark and the team are ready for day 2.
And while the very tops of the trees are done, there is still a lot of work to do. In addition to the tall trees, lighting up a place like Cowley Park comes with its own unique challenges, like how to properly wire and power a project that's not usually equipped to handle such a large amount of electricity.
Luckily, crews at Avista were willing to help, and on day 2, they showed up in unexpected force.
Planning on 2 trucks from Avista, we thought we could get 6 trees done, and then 8 trucks show up, 15 guys, another truck shows up, and everybody's all hands on deck, and it's amazing to see the community support rally around kids who are really, really sick who are going to have to be here during the holiday.
Oh, I think it's a blast. I think doing something like this for the community is great.
If there is one thing we weren't short on during this project, it was volunteers.
The community turned out in big numbers to make sure these children knew they were on our minds this Christmas season. But as Mark Peterson will tell you, there was one surprise volunteer that especially stood out.
'Twas the holiday season, and all through the inland Northwest, people were getting into the Christmas spirit and feeling quite blessed. Despite all of that, I felt a bit blue. The Extreme team and I needed something to do. What better thing than light up Cowley Park? We'll get it done, or my name isn't Mark. It'll be more than a display, we'll make it a real work of art. Only the best for the children at Sacred Heart. For every miracle, we'll turn on a light. That'll be enough to twinkle and brighten the night. But the trees, oh so tall, I can't do it myself. We might need some help from a jolly old elf. It didn't take me long, I knew just who to call. St. Nick would get those lights up in no time at all. He arrived not by reindeer, pulled by sleigh, but in an Avista truck on the second day. When they looked up from the windows, the children could not believe their eyes. Santa Claus helping with a project, such a wonderful surprise. There he was, stringing lights up high in the air during the busiest season, just to show that he cares. Like big Christmas presents, he wrapped up those trees. Only Santa could possess such fine expertise. Just as he came, he was out in a dash, back to the North Pole in a magical flash. But don't worry, children. Don't you fret, don't you fright. St. Nick will return on Christmas Eve night. Until then, think of these lights as our message to you. You are thought of and loved the entire year through.
But the kids were certainly surprised to look out their window and see Santa himself stringing up lights for them, and delighting these children with surprises like this is exactly the goal for our Light for Every Miracle project.
KXLY4's Drew Reeves takes a look at the project through the eyes of one young patient.
At Cowley Park, a mission is underway. A mission to bring a smile to every child's face.
It took a long time to do it.
That's why these Avista crews are braving the heights to get lights on the tops of trees more than 100 feet tall.
That's kind of really dangerous.
Even Santa Claus being put to work. But when you're used to flying a sleigh in the sky, tackling the crane must be pretty easy.
She said, "Hey, look at the Santa Claus." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's working too?"
And all this work is being done to make the patients of Sacred Heart Children's Hospital feel more at home for the holidays. Patients like 9-year-old Corey, who's being treated for cancer, don't know if they'll be spending Thanksgiving and Christmas in a hospital bed. But with all these lights being set up, they're feeling the joy of the holidays.
Magical. I like it because you're with all the family when you turn them on.
She doesn't know if she'll get to spend the holidays at home. She says seeing crews put up the lights reminds her of being home at Christmas.
Like my grandma that puts a lot of lights. It really reminds me when I helped her put the lights on her house and on the trees.
And Corey says even more than the lights, she's looking forward to seeing how her friends at the hospital react.
A lot of kids looking at them outside and being happy.
Children like Corey are exactly what drives us to try crazy projects like this. Giving these kids just a little extra Christmas joy is worth all the time out in the cold and being hundreds of feet in the air. I'm not the only one who feels this way. Just ask the staff at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital.
Being here, you realize that the holidays are a special time and you want to be a kid again too and remember all those special moments. So when we see a project like this happening and we know what it's going to mean to those families, it's really what drives us and what motivates us to do more.
So anything that can inspire them and just bring them joy through the holidays is amazing.
And it looks awesome. Mark has done such a great job, his whole team, the Avista crew that came and helped, it's just wonderful.
This has just been a phenomenal experience right from the get-go. The people that are working on this project, their hearts are in the right spot. There's just so much love and camaraderie. It's just been a blast.
It matters to us, and celebrating here is really important with these families and creating a lasting memory. It may be their last. It may be their last holiday with a family or loved one. And so if you can alleviate that pain for even just a few minutes, it was well worth it.
So we're here. This is Numerica Credit Union. They're coming in. Not only they're a sponsor, but they're donating their time and talents. So they're lighting up the gazebo. So cool. Another project we had, Asplund. They were doing that tree over there. Avista running lines to make sure we had enough power. And look at the creek bed. It's lit up blue. Imagine what it'll be like at night. So you have a ton of Avista guys. What do? Well, I had a project for Tuesday. Today is Monday. So they got to put up the lights all the way around the park at about 16 feet. It is so awesome that this will light up the park throughout the night. The real heroes of the day, Avista. They showed up with the 4 trucks. They've got the service rigs. They got a lot of guys. Here's the deal. They repaired some of what we did with the crane yesterday. They came in, put the uplights in, relit some of the other trees, and added to this project. So I want to thank IBW Local 77. You guys helped out with some of the extension cords as well. Guys, I tell you, it's all about power. Without the pros from Power, we wouldn't have this done.
And just like that, day 2 of the Light for Every Miracle project is in the books. Coming up, we'll hear from more kids who are watching the progress from their windows and anxiously awaiting the moment that switch is flipped.
And we see some familiar KXOY4 faces helping to put the final touches on Cowley Park before the big reveal.
Lane is looking forward to the holidays.
Presents.
But for kids like her who spend a lot of their time at the Children's Hospital, the holidays look a little different.
Oh, you know, most people are very upbeat. The nurses are great. The doctors are. Everybody's trying to do their best to make sure that the kids have as much of a normal time as they can, I think.
Lane has rhabdomyosarcoma. Last year, she spent her holiday season in and out of the hospital. She'll do it again this year.
Well, the first go around, it was she was in 42 weeks of treatment, and she had 6 weeks of radiation, and it was really hard.
Bethany says their family does what they can to keep things normal during the holidays.
For the holidays, we'll be with our best friends. We will be eating a lot, we'll be playing, and we just try to keep it just as normal as we can.
And thanks to the Extreme team, this Christmas will be just a little brighter. Reporting in Spokane, Grace Ditzler, KXLY 4 News.
Day 3 of the project has rolled around, and there is still quite a bit of work to do before the next day's big reveal.
While Mark is definitely spearheading this project, he wasn't the only one from KXOY helping out during the week. See if you can spot some of the familiar faces among the many volunteers who made this project possible.
It's the end of day 3. There's only one more thing left to do. Flip the switch and turning Cowley Park into a lit up, beautiful winter wonderland.
Our mission as a Catholic healthcare ministry is to reveal God's love. That's our mission. The way we do that is through providing healthcare, really good quality, compassionate healthcare to kids and adults and families here in Spokane. And you know, your project, you're talking about the big reveal that's going to happen, turning all these lights on, is right in line with our mission. We're revealing God's love, and these lights really, in a sense, are doing the same thing. The kids, when they look down and see these lights, the message that they're getting, what they're seeing in that, is someone saying, I care about you, I love you. These lights are a nice way to kind of brighten up the holidays, and that's nice, but what's happening at a deeper level, and maybe the kids don't even recognize that, but what's happening inside of them when they look down into this park, something inside of them is letting them know that they're important, and that a lot of people in this community came together to say, kids, we know you're there, we care about you, and we love you, especially at this time of year.
Well, it's the moment everyone's anxiously awaiting.
Thousands and thousands of Christmas lights are carefully strung throughout Cowley Park for a project that's sure to brighten the holidays for so many sick children.
We're not going to make you wait any longer, so watch what happens when Mark and the team finally flip that switch.
Are you guys ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch on! And here they come.
We did it. We lit up Cowley Park. It's beautiful. And of course, it's a light for every miracle behind those doors at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. So while the kids, their families, and the staff were looking at the lights, we were looking at them. See, for us, it's all about bringing some joy to those people who really need it, to the most deserving of those within the Inland Northwest.
10-year-old Josh Wiggin had his eyes on Cowley Park all week.
Big cranes putting people in there and stringing lights in the trees.
Eagerly awaiting the first signs of the Christmas season from his vantage point in the oncology ward.
So he's been watching this all week. Just all week, and just nobody wants to be in the hospital, period, but especially during the holidays.
For the families spending their time within the walls of Sacred Heart Children's Hospital, miracles come in many different forms. The moment their kids open their eyes after surgery, the first smile after days of nothing but tears. These lights represent them all. So many miracles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
In fact, too many to count.
It's a really great project with spending a lot of time in the hospital, especially during the holidays. The family can't necessarily be together and they can't be at home, so they can bring some of that home here.
And during a season that's made for coming together, it is heartbreaking to be apart.
You're away from family, and then the realism that what you're going through is real. That your life is down a different path than you thought it was going to be.
So, did the Extreme team succeed in their quest of making spirits bright?
Oh, Mom, the river is lit up. Oh, cool. They're pretty, and I loved it.
The community has stepped up and set up this light so you can have a little bit of, the tree and the lights and everything that you would have in your home, have it right here, especially for the longer term kids who are going to be here over the entire holiday period.
Josh's favorite part?
How the colors just mesh together and they just make it look cool.
To the kids, the lights in Cowley Park will hopefully be just one of many fond Christmas memories to come. But to their parents, the meaning behind them is a little more clear.
In the darkness, there's light, and this is exactly what we have here. We have the dark park, and then you have the light, and it just shows that the inner spirit, and that Josh really embraces courage, hope, and strength. And that's what the lights do.
Seeing those reactions really is what a project like this is all about.
Took 4 days, ton of hard work, and a lot of volunteers all coming together, and now all the lights shine bright every night for the children at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. You can see them for yourselves. We'll remain keeping this lit through January 6th.
We want to thank you for joining us. From all of us here at KXLY4 News, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas.